And the music that you hear in Runeterra is dictated by the game board that you're playing on. So the KDA board actually plays KDA pop music. Which we might have to turn the sound up a little bit so we can jam here. So, in Runeterra, both players are playing the game simultaneously at all points. The thing that differentiates their turn versus my turn is who gets to attack. So I have the attack token here first. First time you slay a unit with a spell, grant me 2/1. Okay, my thing has elusive here, which is kind of like flying, so it can only be blocked by other elusives. Zoe hits them because they can't block, and she generates me this super cool star chart. Now, the round is going to end. When the next round starts, you'll notice the attack token flips over to my opponent's board here, but we both draw a card and gain a resource, so we're both up to 2 resources now. Now, I could play the Solari Sunhawk here as a... Oh, these are fearsome, so they can only be blocked by things with 3 power or more, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. One of the things to note in Runeterra is each player has these 3 extra mana crystals here, and these are called spell mana, and this allows you to carry mana over across turns in Runeterra, which is a really great mechanic because it mitigates what I refer to as curve variance, where if you can't play a card each turn, you don't just like spew your resources, you can bring some with you. I think so. Zoe, when she hits, if I have a star chart in hand, she makes it cheaper, or she generates another and I already have one. So I'm going to go ahead and play this star chart, which lets me pick one of 3 cards to put into my hand. Moonglow to protect Zoe actually has some appeal. So I think I'm going to grab that, and then we'll go ahead and attack here. Oh, and the KDA board has 3 different music, so we can tick this to play a different song. Now, fast and slow spells build a stack in the middle that players can respond to. So this deal 2 damage I can respond to with Sharp Sight to give Zoe +2/+2. Now they could have another spell obviously here to finish her off, but in the event that they don't, our Zoe will get to live. They shoot her for 2, she connects for 3, she gives us another star chart. My opponent has 2 mana to carry over. I have 1 mana to carry over. No blocks here. Oh. Opponent deciding if they want to start the turn by attacking here or not. Opponent tries to kill Zoe again. We'll say no thank you. Make this a 3/3. They must have drawn that for the turn, right? Because if they would have had that already, they could have played it in response to my... Or they could have played it last turn as well. Should I go ahead and pass here and see what they do? So, I'm going to go ahead and pass to my opponent here. When both players pass, the turn ends. And if the turn ends without them playing a card, I get to carry my 3 mana over, but they only carry over 3 of their 4. So if we both pass here, I gain resource efficiency. So my opponent has lost an unspent mana here because they passed the turn there. Let's start with Shyvana and see what they do. So, in Runeterra, you can attack with things the turn you play them. So there's a little bit of this balance where, do you want to play this so it can attack this turn? Or do you want to attack before they can deploy more blockers? So they are going to Piercing Darkness kill this. And if we can see here, the eye tells me what's going to happen as a result of this play. So this counts as them slaying a unit. So if I let the board resolve like this, the 2 things on their bench here are going to get their power up from a unit being slain. I think I want a single combat in response here. So that way we can kill one of those so they don't have 2 3/3s here. You can see the eye shows, okay, this is going to die, your thing's going to die, they're going to have a 3/3. Zoe. Okay, and they're responding with another card here, which will let them draw some cards here. And then even the eye even shows my opponent gaining 2 cards in hand here, which is great. So I am now going to take this window to Moonglow my Zoe, permanently giving her +2 attack, +2 defense, and spell shield, making her harder to kill. Champions in Runeterra level up to get more powerful when a certain condition is met. So this Zoe will level up when she's seen me play 10 differently named cards. And we're halfway there. Honestly, the eye is probably one of the most innovative features in Runeterra compared to all other digital card games. The amount of valuable information it provides is just...
I fight for a brighter tomorrow.
Challenger? So Challenger means this can force my Zoe to block. So this stuns the strongest enemy unit when it comes into play. So we're gonna go ahead and do this to stun their Jace. Character many of you should be familiar with if you watched Arcane. I'm gonna take the Equinox here because it'll let me silence the extra text off of this. Arcane was excellent. Really, really enjoyed it. So we're up to 7 differently named cards played. You get to bank some spell mana here. So up to 9 total mana for this turn. Let's play Solari Sunforger out. So, Zoe levels with 2 more differently named cards played. I'm gonna go ahead and Brightsteel Protector here. She levels with 1 more differently named card played. So this Concerted Strike will level my Zoe. So, here's a huge thing in Runeterra that is so skill intensive. My opponent has passed, assuming I am going to attack, but what I get to do here now is skip my attack and just end the round, burning off an incredible amount of mana. So I get to give up my attack with this lifesteal thing, which does have some value, to basically tempo my opponent an incredible amount. And don't heckle me, Zoe. I'm teaching chat how to play Runeterra.
Hextech engaged.
So I want to strike you with you and you, which will allow my Zoe to level up and survive. And now, something Zoe does, when Zoe levels up, she basically gives us an emblem equivalent that says, when you summon an ally for the rest of the game, all your allies get that card's keywords. So even if they manage to kill Zoe here, I'm still gonna be able to give everything Fury with Shyvana. Okay, yeah, and so they, with their sequence here, oh wait, I have single combat. This is great. So, and again, what's gonna happen? Right now, their Jace is going to level up, and all 3 of my things are going to die based on the current board state. However, I get a chance to respond here, and we say, okay, single combat, these 2 fight. Now we can check the eye again, and those 3 are dying, and my Zoe is living, which is an outcome I would like. So let's put that spell on the stack and click OK. Taz B, thanks for the 2 years. I appreciate the 24 months. Welcome back. Apologies for the audio turning off for a second. There is a small bug in this current Runeterra patch where when I'm not focused on the game screen, the audio turns off despite the setting. So I have to click on OBS on occasion. And again, so here, how the combat in Runeterra works. I could play this out and attack with it, or I could start the turn by just attacking, which I think I like, because if I start by attacking, my opponent doesn't get a chance to play out big, scary blockers. Zoe's mad they tried to kill her, chat. It does give Challenger to everything, that's true. I think I'd still rather just open attacks here. Fury is a keyword that lets my things get bigger when they kill things. My opponent's playing Shadow Isle, so there's a chance they're a Ruination deck as well, which is another reason to start by attacking so they can't, like, sweep my board. Because if they have, like, Vile Feast plus a Ruination, they kind of ruin my day, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh! We could get burned out here. This halves my life total. Yikes. This cracks me to 6. Alright, if they don't have a way to burn us out next turn, we got them. Close game. Their deck has a number of things that, like, deal direct face damage, so. I love the artwork in this game. It's so good. The fact that you can see full art versions of cards in clients is great too. But you get, like, Atrocity here too. I'd assume they're playing Atrocity. Works well with Jace, right? Did Mobalytics? You might need to refresh. Mobalytics is loaded for me. You might need to refresh for it to pop up though. Well, they haven't just killed me yet, so it's a good step one. Am I dead? You got it.
Once I'm free, that's the second thing I'll do.
All right, chat, they didn't have it. Whew. It's a big sad they didn't let you see the A-Soul level up animation. Opponent denied you some beauty at home. There's a very sweet level up animation for A-Soul. Here there be dragons, chat. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Check out Runeterra today. Appreciate the support. We're going to be doing some more Runeterra on the regular Today's segment, sponsored by the Twitch Bounty Board. We're going to be playing just some of our own volition tomorrow as well. Scene seems pretty good, right? Look at the dragon chow, chat. Look how cute it is. It doesn't know what's coming for it. What's the economy like in this game? Okay, if the gameplay and the audio visuals haven't sold you on Runeterra, let me sell you on Runeterra, chat. Runeterra has the most player-friendly economy of any digital card game out there. There are no random booster packs. When you spend money, you buy exactly the cards you want to get. The price to build the average tier 1 deck is between $20 and $30. And you just get to buy it outright, getting exactly what you want. It also has a generous free-to-play system. So if you don't want to spend money and you just want to free-to-play the game, that's an option as well. But if you're something of a large sea creature like myself, your spending goes a long way in Runeterra. The theoretical max price of a deck in Runeterra is $52.80, but most decks don't come close to that. Accurate. All right, so I think we just Zoe here, right? They have their deck's like a mid-range control deck, so like we could very well see them kill her here. Yeah, there's a red card. What would I recommend for a new player? Heck, Huck, thank you for the 44 months. Welcome back. I think we just say okay here. Okay, and then we Dragon Guard Lieutenant here to attack and challenge Twisted Fate in combat to kill him. Challenger means I get to pick who blocks this. Do decks have overlapping cards that allow you to save money like Magics? Depending on which decks you're building. So there's 10 regions in Runeterra, which are basically like the game's colors. So if you're building decks inside of the same regions, you'll frequently have some overlap. The opponent's archetype likely has things that kill target damaged unit. So there is some concern that that could happen. I don't know that I want to play this out. I'm going to lose 3 mana just passing here, but I think I'm supposed to just pass. I mean, that exchange seems good for us, right? So, if I barrier first, I can't Eclipse Dragon. I think you're right. I'm just supposed to barrier into single combat. I'm worried about a destroy target damage creature here, but I guess if they do that, I just single combat again in response. Yeah, I wanna Nightfall this. I was hoping to Nightfall it this turn.
We wear red to honor the fallen. Would you know them to see them again, Jerick?
It's a decent draw. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should... Let's do this because it heals this, and then this has Nightfall, so it makes me 2 things here.
Prepare the cargo! Artillery barrage!
This does 3 to me. So the problem is Swain plus Leviathan kind of locks us out. This done something every time they deal damage to my Nexus, and this deals 3 to everything, and I'm just out of removal spells, right?
The strength of the sun and my faith are one.
I need another removal spell here, I think. They drop Swain. Oh wait, they're not Swaining this turn? That's so good for us. I'm really confused. Card costs 5 still, right? Yeah.
By my hand, Noxus rise. Grand General. Themselves cultured.
Oh, they hit my Nexus and it stunned this. We're still okay there, right? Wait, did they buff Assault? This card used to be 25 power to level up, right? If they can deal 1 more damage to my Nexus, we die. It was originally 20, and then they made it, they undid the nerf. Yeah, because it was 20, and then it was 25. Okay. So this is putting us to 1 and stunning 3 things next turn.
They should thank you.
Alright, so they had 2 different ways to kill us there, and they tanked. Good beats. Tank, kill you, chat, is a tried and true play across every card game. This is not, no single card game has a monopoly on opponents that are able to execute that move. We're really good at having our one of Zoe in our opener. It's a true skill. So Zoe's gonna die next turn to their 2-1, but she generated a super cool star chart, so she'll have gotten value, which is fine. Oh. Deal. We take those. I've been playing a deck with 3 Zoe and I never have run one. Have you considered being luckier? None of these are the danger noodle I wanted for Christmas, chat. Oh, well, you know, that was bound to happen at some point today. Dear Riot, one client improvement I would like would be the ability to lock the screen size in. Thank you. I enjoy playing my card games in windowed mode and frequently, like, go to grab a card from my hand and resize it. Zoe's my favorite Runeterra card, too. I mean, like, so they killed my Zoe here, but, like, that's also, like, just not a big deal, right? It's like they spent, like, 2 cards. Like, cause, like, the 4-1 came out of Zoe. So in terms of, like, card advantage there, we actually came out ahead. How many screens do I use? 3. I have 3 monitors, but I like to be able to, I like to be able to have Twitch chat and my game next to each other on the screen directly in front of me. Just trade these. Yes, yeah, exactly right, Violet Journey. Trades up or can win the game on her own is an accurate summary of why she's good. For sure. The Zoe Poppy deck we played last week, I think is my favorite thing we've played since I've been back. I think this might be a by tempo pass. I could get an attack in here, but our hand goes big enough that I think I'm happy just burning my opponent's mana here. We're really unlucky when it comes to our opponent. Like, we played against this Legion Marauder deck. I don't know that it doesn't look like it's in any of the tier lists, but people in the lower tiered ranks where we're at seem to love to play this shit, and it's a little frustratingly high rolling. Every time we play against it, they have 2 of the card that gives them 2 Legion Marauders after already having other Marauders. We just kind of run down. And just basically nothing we can do. Those units give all units with the same name as them bonuses when they attack. So when you have a density of them at once, you get your deck's much better than it is otherwise. Alright, so definitely don't want Aesol Eclipse Dragon in the opener. Sharpsight could go either way. I think I'm going to mulligan this looking for 3s and 4s to curve off of Sentinel. So this is fine.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys. Always forward.
The block here and gain 2.
Never again will we fall to dragon fire.
Dragon, give you this challenger.
Gently, gently.
Prepare for battle.
Eat their 1-2 in combat. This challenger so we can force it to block.
Men die, but Shyvana lives forever.
I'm gonna pass here, because if they want to attack in with this, I'm gonna go ahead and Sharp Sight to kill it. And again, the eye shows me how this combat's gonna work out. My stuff will live. These will not. Jack Dragon Shout is adorable. Shyvana's gonna get to munch on this next turn, which is great.
The fight just isn't the same without you, Anna.
I am always here when you need me. They are nothing.
This puts her to
Fair and square.
8 out of 12 dealt. Which means if she blocks next turn, she, I think this is an okay exchange for us, right? Like, they're down to 3 cards in hand at this point. We're still at 17. We have this to gain life if we need it in a pinch. We have Eclipse Dragon into Aesol as a really elegant curve here.
Hey, Krabby.
That's my resting face.
Let's move.
Honestly, I think we're going big enough with these that we just trade Zoe off here and keep our life total high. As much as it hurts me to throw away my Zozo as a sacrificial lamb. Maybe because I have the challenger, it could be wrong. I don't know. This is just so much late game advantage.
Sun and steel.
Play this to use my mana for the turn. Hopefully they play out something this can kill and we'll get to barrier it and get in there.
Steady your heart. Find your beat.
So if I block this here, I actually just gain life off this attack. Deal. Combat resolves left to right, so we take 2 and then we gain 5. And now we get to barrier this. So the next time this takes damage, it won't take damage. And we'll get to go ahead and hook this in here and hit them for 10, down to 10. Gosh, we might even just win this game without our impressive top end here. I think there's one cheeky Aegis in this deck. Oh, this is cute. So this is ephemeral, so it's gonna go away at end of turn. So by summoning this, they encourage me not to attack with these. They basically played this as a fog for the rest of my stuff, which I'm fine with that exchange. Offer accepted.
All in the shoulders.
Clips Dragon makes next Dragon or Celestial I play cost 2 less, so instead of costing all of our mana at 10, Ace will cost significantly less than that.
Showtime. Stop you.
Sierra says Fury, so it gets bigger. There's a good chance this is a concession Acel. Hopefully they let us level it up ahead of time. Just like pushing very small amounts of damage with their Blade Dance, but not anything super meaningful. This is actually lethal this turn before we level it, right? Just like give these Overwhelm and crunch them.
Abject failure.
I don't even need it technically, right? Just have a challenger unit. Yes, yeah, this one was buffed to give Overwhelm in addition to 1/1. If you're one of the people like me coming back to Runeterra, did not previously give Overwhelm. Let you smash through to finish in the late game much more powerfully. Used to. Yeah, like I said, seeing how Runeterra has massaged and balanced their stuff makes me hopeful Magic can do something similar. The Runeterra balance team has done a pretty good job of, both with buffs and nerfs in their game, slowly getting things to a good point through an iterative process. Yeah, honestly, for a mirror match, I think I just keep all of these. Screeching Dragon seems pretty good against other Dragons deck. We don't have anything to do early, but we can just, like, bank our mana on the first 2 turns and dispel mana to save for later for things like single combat. Our deck has a good number of spells in it that can leverage spell mana well. Am I playing in normal? Are we not playing ranked? Did it default to normal on me? I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't paying attention. The last time I played ranked, and I just assumed it defaulted to ranked by default, but I'll double check after this. Was that normals that I queued into? Runeterra has absolutely 0 loot boxes in the game. When you spend money, you get exactly what you want. You can build a stock tier 1 Runeterra deck for about 20 bucks. Runeterra is the only major digital card game on the market that has a player-friendly economy.
They will burn like we did.
It also has a pretty reasonable free-to-play system. Nah, I always play ranked in games, chat. I don't have, like, ranked anxiety or anything like that. We're queued into normals because apparently I wasn't paying attention.
I am watching you, dragon.
Huh? They're accelerant. Got them pretty far ahead here. Yeah, we're pretty far behind at the moment. We open on Sunhawk.
They are nothing.
Oh. That is fair. If you're one of my normal Magic the Gathering players, it is very difficult to stomach going back to Magic the Gathering after experiencing Runeterra's actual player-friendly economy. So, like, do I really want to re-enter this abusive relationship with Wizards? All right, let's surrender. Let's surrender and play ranked. I don't know that we're 100% out of this one, but I'm gonna be honest. I didn't realize we weren't playing ranked. That's weird. I wonder why it defaulted to normal. I definitely played ranked last time we were playing. Reddit just told me you are a WotC shill. I think this is usually a controlling champion, right? I only spend money on Magic by proxy that days, and that means you. Thanks for the pity, Scissor. I appreciate it. Yeah, could be Mistwraith aggro for the 4-drop with the Legions. Stun one of these. Gobble some of these up. How long until Mass Effect? Probably about 45 minutes. I might have overslept this morning, so we're gonna stream a little bit later than we usually do. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Another day guarding the walls.
And if this dies, we get an extra mana next turn, which could let us Eclipse Dragon. Yeah, we're gonna be back to doing Runeterra 2 to 3 times a week, War Dev. I've got it on my schedule 2 times this week, I believe, or 3 times. I was gonna do a little bit more, but with the new Magic set dropping Thursday, or the new format, I want to do a little bit extra there. Yeah, it's gonna be a regular part of the schedule again, as long as I'm enjoying things.
Submission or death for all who leave.
Thanks for the follow, Kindle. Welcome to the channel this morning. Okay, so now I have to decide, do I want my next dragon to be cheaper? Or do I want my next dragon... Do I want my next dragon to be cheaper, or do I want to generate some value here? I think I want my next dragon to be cheaper. So this has Daybreak and Nightfall. So basically I get a different bonus if it's the first card I play or not the first card I play. I think I want cheaper, because this is going to draw me 2 more value as is, right? Try and eat their Viego here. So it has Challenger, so we get to eat something here, which is nice. Yeah, we gotta kill this, right? I think we just do this. And we're technically not dead to open attacks, but we're a little bit behind here.
One candle for every soul.
Now we're dead, because they added 2 things to the board with a single play. Brutal. I don't think we have any dragons that get out of this. Yeah, good game's opponent. I mean, that's not even true, my Toriel. The opponent didn't kill us because they were the bigger fish there. The opponent killed us because they were more aggressive than we were. Like, if we'd have had time... Like, yeah, your assessment is just completely incorrect. Like they were the more aggressive deck that we got beat down there before we could play out our cards. Like our draw 2 Druid Eclipse Dragon, which was gonna generate 2 more pieces. Like we had a ton of value left over there. Bigger fish refers to the opponent outvaluing you as the game goes long. That's decidedly not what happened in that game you just watched. They are an aggressive deck, so Solari Sunforger seems good to keep. We'll probably just play this out as a 3-2 on 2 as a blocker.
Non-flammable? Is that a challenge? Now where did I leave that beaker?
Okay, with this draw,
Never again will we
we'll drop this, and then we can barrier this next turn and eat one of these. This is an aggressive start from them. We do have Solari Sunforger to maybe get us out of some of this.
I've got your back.
happy trading this for these. I'm gonna single combat here to gain 3, basically. We kill this in response. They don't get Noxian Fervor. These are each gonna tick tick boom on us, putting us to effectively 11 here. It could have been right to save the single combat for Solari Sunforger too, though. Your multi-region units cost 1 less to manifest a multi-region unit.
I found a home among the Dragon God.
We are your
Okay, we're at 11, and they don't have good attacks here. It might be wrong to not play this turn. There's some value in holding this for after we, holding this for if we find another single combat, though.
astounding curiosities lie ahead.
It's gonna blow.
It's good to be the king.
Quick attack.
No one's the wiser. I am watching you, dragon. Explosives primed.
I got it.
This is your end.
They are noxious, so we could get burned out here. Might is huge. Yep, going to 5 here.
Witness my true power. Damn it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was not... Yeah, I think the big mistake I made this set was not saving my single combat for this. This, Decimate? Yeah. Yep. If I would have saved single combat for this, we would have been able to win this game, I think. Our Shyvana leveled there was gonna make us once, or just like 1 turn off, but I think I should have saved my initial single combat to play with my lifesteal. I also think this Dragon's deck's probably the worst of the decks that we've touched since we've been back to Runeterra. It definitely feels a little bit less powerful than the other decks I was playing, that we've played so far. I definitely don't want my clunky card advantage in this matchup. We'll keep Dragon Chow because it pairs okay with the cheap dragon later. So gain us like 2 to 4 early. Blocking Sand Soldiers.
What's today's lesson? And punch.
Never again will we fall to
This
dragon
is
fire.
a card that there's a lot of value in killing, so otherwise it gets really huge with all their stuff that summons things on attacking. So I imagine they'll play something out and then we'll trade here, but I'm pretty happy to trade here, I think. Wow. Them not having a unit to make this bigger is huge. Getting to eat this and keep this around is lovely. gonna Sunhawk and gain a bit of life by keeping this stunned for the turn. We'll be able to challenge it with the Lieutenant next turn. Ooh, Dragon Guard into Screeching Dragon with double Chow is pretty good. Could single combat to keep this around, but I think this is fine. If I single combat, I can't Dragon Guard this turn. I really want to Dragon Guard this turn. Gonna be a large lad here, chap.
See what we see, soldier. How does it feel?
I must become the leader they need.
Everything burns. Agonizing.
This gets 2/2 every time it eats something because of the Dragon Guard. These blocks are actually just making it larger.
How does it feel?
The strength of the sun and my faith are one.
Yeah, this matchup's felt pretty good. This is the second time we played it today, and it seems pretty good for us both times. To kill their thing in response here. Oh no! They reset our Dargon, chat. Rude. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.
The Yordle here is with me.
I am more than I seem.
Monsters with heart are still monsters. Shurima is sand and sky, past and present. Do not see what is, see what will be.
Got your back.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys. Agonizing, I know. Sand and blood! Your Emperor commands.
I smell fear.
Warning, take you.
No closer.
I think I'm happy with these blocks. We stay relatively high in terms of life total. And then the next turn, this plus this, get to eat this and push some damage.
Look lively, soldier.
Shyvana is getting relatively close to leveling up as well.
Our sacrifices. In Shyvana's name.
Yeah, I'm definitely pretty happy for this to come across and get some damage on it. That's for sure.
We wear red to honor the fallen. Would you know them to see them again, Jerick?
Remember our ancestors and fight for those who came before us. No mercy for those who desecrate our home.
They will find our lands do not take well to intruders.
I am watching you, dragon.
Theoretically lethal, assuming no tricks. I'd previously been playing MTG exclusively until you recommended Runeterra, and I've been enjoying it. Thanks for recommendation. Hey, I'm glad you're having fun. Runeterra does a lot of things well.
Witness
Like level up animations. Actually insanely well. Here there be dragons.
dragon fire.
The new Rebel animation is sweet. I think we might play some Rebel decks tomorrow. I'm in the Runeterra pre-release thing for their new set droppings. I get to play it a day in advance with some other content creators. And Rebel looks like yes. Flora, do you mean Fiora? Fiora is not particularly popular. They nerfed her third point of toughness. And the attack token will open on Zoe. Zoe makes the roses. Dude. And like, even this really highlights the power of Zoe, right? Like, they culling struck her here, but like, she drew a card and they traded a 3-mana card for my 1-mana cards. Like, the amount of tempo she generated there was just incredible still.
They will burn like we did.
What's going on, Eric? Good morning. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? It's afternoon.
Discipline and steel.
Oh, hey, this card's not a 3/3 anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and pass. Or do, I don't know, 2 or 3 more matches of Runeterra, and then we're gonna play some Mass Effect. Getting close to the end of ME3.
We march. Do they still mourn? Do they even remember?
So hoping to just like draw a dragon with Fury next turn so we can like chow down on it and get huge.
We protect these woods as they protect us.
So no Dargon here, unfortunately. Guess we'll do this and see what we get. Take a good boy. Okay, there's some dragons for next turn. I don't envision
Ready for deployment.
being able to fit enough Runeterra into my schedule to post a deck video every day for it. Heck, I even kind of struggled to do that for Magic with their formats being a little sour at the moment. Hopefully with Alchemy releasing, we'll be back to doing daily Magic stuff for that channel again. Should be a lot more room to brew once they pull the power level of their standard format down. All right, so we're hoping to get just like at least one dragon. I'm gonna put Pupper in front of this rather than this. Did they have like a sharp sight? I don't want to lose this to a sharp sight. Part of me is fully expecting logins to not work on Thursday for Arena. I'm definitely prepared for that reality. I am planning to do Arena on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well, though. So hopefully one of those 3 days we'll be able to play. Screeching Dragon is perfect here to eat that and get bigger.
Let the bloodshed begin. Only fools hesitate. Ha! They'll never know what killed them.
They did accidentally unban Brainstorm one time. That's true. That's funny. In a sad sort of way.
You're covered.
I wonder if there's a Tarek deck with the new... We're getting a new Targan champion that gets bonuses when you target it with stuff. I wonder if there's a Tarek deck with that, Dorko.
I protect my own.
Away with you, stranger.
Hey, what's the spell do? This combat is pretty good for us as is, so I have to imagine this is going to annoy us a little bit. Am I okay with this exchange? I think I am.
Agonizing final.
I could have been right to sharp sight the thing and trade with this.
Show them our metal.
Or would I have eaten this? I'd have eaten this, right? Yeah, I was probably supposed to sharp sight to eat this. So that would have been a 5-6. That was a mistake on my part. I would have kept my extra fury booster around. We're still 2 mana off of getting this Aesol into play. basically a fog. We might actually, do we Lieutenant and then Aegis this? It gives a barrier and it rallies, and then we could kill both their things and crack them for 5 and then have them dead to open attacks? Yeah, I think that's the line, right? This leaves them dead to us opening attacks next turn.
Go on.
Yeah, and now I can sharp sight here. Like, eat you. Yeah. And didn't even need the Isol. I want to say how impressive the Unite coverage was. Great, excited commentary, and the overlays are useful. Thanks, Jezen. Yeah, it's our first time doing that, so I think there's definitely some room for improvement. I have some ideas for cleaning up overlays a little bit, and other things I want to do differently next time, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a next time. The feedback's been pretty positive. Subbed to tell you that you sold me on Alchemy, but I also hate spending money on Arena, so you've sold me on Runeterra. Well, you're in good space here. In a good place then, Space Pants. Because we're going to be both playing Alchemy and Runeterra in the foreseeable future here. This is usually an aggressive deck, so I think I'm going to keep these two, but I'm mulligan these, looking for 3s and 4s, I think. You also want a dragon to pair with this, ideally. Perfect.
I'll shoot the wings off a built one. In range.
One of the things that I really like about Runeterra's economy is that Runeterra is such an easier game to have a healthy relationship than something like Magic. Because Magic, you know, it's so predatory and you feel like you get so far behind if you stop playing that, like, you feel like you're caught in this toxic mess where if you're not enjoying it, you, like, feel obligated to keep doing your dailies and stuff. Whereas, like, Runeterra is so easy to duck in and duck out of. Like, if you're loving it, you can play it a bunch. And if you're kind of medium on it, or even if you just have others, like, even if you like it but have other life stuff come up, it's, like, not a big deal to, like, okay, take a short Runeterra break and then come back and still feel like you haven't missed out on everything.
There's plenty of killing left.
Games like Magic make it very difficult to have a healthy relationship with them. Got a little punished for playing my 2-3 as opposed to... They stole my Dragon Chow, chat. That's fine, this card's pretty bad for them, right? I have to, like, grab something else.
Let's get to it.
I always tell people, regardless of what the game is, if at any point the only reason you're opening a game client is to log in and do daily quests, you should uninstall that game. There's a Crest of Insight. The Crest of Insight is a landmark that gives you an extra mana the following turn. So the turn after this dies, you get like a one-shot mana boost, basically.
They are nothing.
I wish I could. I wish we could make this block us. Now this, I want to die this turn, so that way next turn I can play the Eclipse Dragon a turn earlier. Okay, well, wish granted.
He started without me.
So
What's the fire breath this time?
A soldier should know to stay out of the way.
I think we do this. I want to have 2 spell mana going into next turn, because this way I'll have 2 + 7, so I can single combat into Eclipse Dragon. Because I want Eclipse Dragon's Nightfall to trigger here. So that way I get to get 2 extra cards.
Now I take to the sky.
Arrgh.
Bow to no one.
Do I want to put 1 point of damage on this to make it 1 attack bigger? Yeah, probably. Because they'll block here. So I end up as a 8/6, which I think is fine.
Ride onward.
The dead don't need riches.
For our opponent to declare attacks so we can declare blocks. If they don't have double Frostbite, Concerted Strike's gonna let us kill the Shyvana. Have something like Harsh Winds here, we get blown out. Do this before Shyvana levels. This does give them a window of opportunity to play another Shyvana from hand, but I think this is still how I want to sequence this. They have Harsh Winds here we got. This works out just fine. Harsh Winds is unlikely in the archetype. Yeah, I'm just talking about cards that their regions play. You're correct that it's unlikely. We can dodge a second Shyvana, we can dodge a ball here. That's the scary card they could have. 8 mana for the turn. I think we're supposed to open attacks, right? Because of the fear of another Shyvana, I just want to clear as much of their board out as possible.
that you got there?
What's that you got there?
What's that you got there?
Weird. Feels like a premature concession. They could like line up some more blocks and then like a Shyvana and a couple other decent draws could get them back in the game. The Chow is just kind of hanging out. All right, let's get one more good game in, and then we'll roll on to some Mass Effect for the afternoon. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Everybody's having a great Monday wherever you're at in the world. Are you doing some Runeterra with new cards with their pre-release tomorrow, which is great. Thanks for the follow, Martuk. Afternoon. Yeah, Runeterra's been good, Duck. Jarvan Shen, you say? I'm gonna mulligan this just I don't want another really expensive card, but like Lieutenant plus Protector sounds good here. Good to see the trickle-down economy in action, Kennex.
Take the high ground.
Never again will we fall to
So,
fire.
this reduces their most expensive card by 1 when it strikes. I could trade to deny them 1 less trigger with this, but I think I'd rather barrier this so I get to eat this. I'm giving them 1 extra strike trigger, but now this gets to survive, which is nice. Two arms. Wow, Sharp Sight's brutal. So now they're gonna get
Sound the alarm.
even another extra trigger there. We could have theoretically gotten Jarvan this turn, yeah. We're probably just banking Spellman this turn. They play out something that's like super aggressive. Yeah, like that. Yikes. Guess we'll do this.
From the sky.
I could have been right to like have these two hit this too. Like single combat wouldn't have been great for us. Oh no, chat! That was my Dragon Chow! Wow, that's heckin' rude, chat. They just like reached into the fridge and took our leftovers. What's my screeching dragon supposed to eat now? Gonna be extra screechy, chat. He's hungry. All right, I said 1 more good game. I'm gonna take a mulligan on 1 more good game. It's got it kind of handled there. This Dragon's deck is playing a lot of cards that I like, but I don't really think I think this has been the worst of the 3 decks we've played since we've been back. Incidentally, it's also the first deck I've pulled off of Mobalytics as opposed to the Hoaglandia Discord server. So maybe I should just trust Hoaglandia more and Mobalytics less. We played Zoe, Poppy, and we played Talia Zig. Okay, opponent's deck is almost assuredly an aggressive burn deck, so Sunforger, and honestly, this whole hand just seems like a keep. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan this, looking for a 3.
Explosives primed. They'll never see it coming.
I mean, it's listed as B tier on Mobalytics, but like the other decks that we played aren't even listed on there, Zeckles. So like the rating on there is like mostly arbitrary.
I've got your back. There's nothing to fear.
Well, now we'll pass because we want this to eat this in combat. This is a perfect pickup. Let's see if they open a text here or not. Isn't Mobalytics Swim? I thought Swim does the stuff on Mobalytics. Is that not the case? Has that changed? Does Swim not work with them anymore?
In position.
Alright, so now we get to bank this spell mana. So we get to Sunforger this turn along with single combat. It feels like this deck, in order to keep up against these aggro decks, puts a lot of weight on being able to pull off Sunforger. Feels like we're pretty clunky behind if we don't get to like do exactly this. I think that's an accurate assessment. Okay, no, one tricky here. So still gonna get to gain. Still gonna get to gain 8. Trade off with their board a little bit.
I have my orders.
Okay, if we trade off Blue Sentinel this turn, we get to play Eclipse Dragon next turn. Wait, do they just not attack? That's so good for us? Yes, please. Yeah, I will say, while I've been enjoying playing Runeterra again, I do think I would enjoy Runeterra as a game more if it had a best of 3 with sideboard mode. And I know Runeterra doesn't explicitly design their game with that in mind, but even just small changes in certain matchups would go a long way. Nah, I didn't want Elise to be able to block my 2 power thing for free, K9. I wanted to push a little damage there. This exchange seems fine for us.
I'll handle this myself.
Junkie boy chip. Yeah, I agree with that too, Violet Shirty. Getting to like see the champions in your opponent's deck before you play and like make 5 swaps or whatever would be nice. Like best of 1 sideboarding would be a reasonable thing. Fully agree. I want to do this turn. I'm still at 16, so I think the answer is no. I think my plan is to like Lieutenant into Eclipse Dragon here with Nightfall. Just get a little aggressive. So, Runeterra has a best of 3 mode. It just isn't single deck with sideboard. They do pick ban best of 3, similar to how Hearthstone does. And I just don't think pick ban best of 3 is, for me personally, pick ban best of 3 isn't nearly as interesting. And I don't think it's as skill testing. Sideboarding basically gives you a deck building exercise mid-match. And I think deck building is one of the hardest things to be good at in card games. This is a little scary. Darius is about to level up. Oh wait, are they dead? Holy crap, chat, they killed themselves. Less scary. little greedy on the opponent's part to not block either of my Dorkos. I just assumed they were gonna block one of my other things, chat. Less scary when dead. Yeah, this was fine. I don't think I'd play this again. Like I said, I think this deck felt a little bit too dependent on Solari, Sunforger plus a fight spell in the aggressive matchups for my taste. Our curve felt a little bit clunky overall. Like, we have a lot of, like, the curve is deceptive when you look at this, right? Because, like, we have a lot of 2s when you look at this here, but, like, Sharp Sight and Single Combat aren't really proactive 2s that you play out in the aggro matchups. And, like, even our 3s are a bit deceptive. Like, there's only 5 3s, but 2 of those 3s are clutches. So overall, we just felt a little bit too clunky for those, for the average aggro matchup, if we weren't going explicitly Sunforger into Fight Spell. All right, let's shift gears over to some Mass Effect.